I received the PVC vent plugs from China. It goes there. The only thing I have to do is puncture a hole there or sand it enough to make it into that hole. Otherwise, it won't work. So I'm gonna work on that now. I'll drill a small hole there because it doesn't come with the hole. I don't need it that big because gas is just gonna penetrate in any hole as big as this or even smaller. Place my jig. Gonna use the 1 1/4 saw bit. This is taped for my leech plugs. It's not the same height as the vent plugs, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drill it down all the way because it's the same depth as the plug. I'm gonna clean it real nice, make the hole already. You want to make sure you do the hole down the middle, so both sides of the EPS gas. And I'm only doing this because it's a 1-pounder. It's a 1-pound EPS, and they tend to gas more than the 2-pounder, than the 2-pound one. I never had an issue with it because I take care of my boards, but inside a car or under the sun or something, you know, I just want to be safe than sorry. I'm gonna use my rotary saw. It's not really a router. It's not as powerful as a router, but I don't have anything else. I need to invest if I'm gonna continue building boards. I was able to pull out the fiberglass and some of the foam. And since I build them from scratch, I use plywood, top birch wood, and it's very hard. So I was able to pull out some with the screwdriver, but I wanna use the rotary saw. I put a 2x4 with the socket to hold the vent. The Almighty Putty 5-minute epoxy, aka 5-minute epoxy, already dried up, I believe. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna sand that epoxy. Just wanna see how it looks inside. I'm able to see the stringer from here. I removed the epoxy, the 5-minute Mighty Putty epoxy. So tomorrow I'm gonna sand that a little bit better, paint it white, and then do a tiny bit of epoxy all around. But I gotta buy tape to tape that in. I need also utility blades. I finished the vent plug installation. I filled it with water to see if it gas while I'm recording this. The plug got a little bit dirty because my socket was greasy, but that will come off eventually with the wear and tear from surfing, and I don't want to mess around with that edge. I could clean it, but the Gore-Tex is inside and I don't want to ruin the plug. I don't care for that little stain there. The others are from the tape, and this is water, so it's filled up with water. I would love to see a bubble, but it's kind of cold in my garage, so the board is in cool temperature. This October 27th. Okay, the white, it's paint, water-based paint. Then I threw a little bit of epoxy on it. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's not real rounded. And the issue that I had is the router, the bit on the router was too short for the jig. So I pulled out the jig and I was doing it by hand, and I kind of shed a little bit on the side of the circle. But it's not bad. I mean, I like it. I mean, I'm pleased with it, and I just want to plug there that vent my board. Okay, that comes off with a socket, but it's also all auto vents. So I'm gonna leave it there. Because if I pull it out and I forget and I get into water, I'll get water inside my blanket. Nobody wants that. Okay, that's it. I see a bubble coming. Oh Lord, it's actually venting, and man, I didn't realize this 1 pound EPS really vents. So let me see if the bubble comes up. I see it, but this video is not, it's not picking up. Well, I'll see it there, and I hope I get it on the video. I don't have much light here, but that's the bubble coming. That's the bubble. Oh, I should have done this before. I didn't want to get it delamination. I don't have any blisters on the board, quite frankly, but I feel safer now that I have the vent. Let's see if I could get a good look. That's the bubble right there. Oh, and I can see the nut that I stained from the socket right here. Okay, but let's see the bubble. Actually, I'm gonna pour a little bit of more water. So that's the bubble right there from gassing. How cool is that? My board, it's venting now. I may sound repetitive because I'm taking clips, so I'll apologize for that, for the repetition, but it's just so cool to see this venting. It's just a tiny bubble. Now I have 2 bubbles. So what I'm taking from this is that you want to ventilate your EPS, especially the 1 pound. I'm not going to ventilate my 2 pound EPS because I never had an issue, and I don't have the lamination on my other board. So it was a good investment. I think I bought 2 for less than $7, 7 something. So how cool is that? I compounded and waxed it.